Thank you very much. So Tom and I are going to have a little conversation. Tom, what led to the creation of the Climate Collab, and what is the Climate Collab?
So in 2006, now just about 10 years ago, we started the MIT Center for Collective Intelligence. We were inspired by examples like Wikipedia and the Linux open source software movement and so forth. And we wanted to do at least one project where we were looking at how to use this crowdsourcing approach to solve very large-scale problems, very large-scale collective problem solving. Now, to do that, you had to have some problem to solve.
Yeah.
So, for better or for worse,
Took on an easy one.
yeah. So we, for better or for worse, we picked this simple, easy little problem of what to do about global climate change.
Yeah.
So,
So obviously you took it on because it was the most important problem you could take on. Were there things about climate that made it particularly well suited for a collective intelligence approach? And were there things that made it particularly hard as well?
yeah. Well, not everyone would agree that it was the most important problem, by the way.
Well, yes.
But probably many of the people in this room would agree to that. One reason why I thought this might be, in addition to its importance, one reason why I thought it might be a good problem to take on with this approach was because there are some pretty quantitative things at the heart of this problem. You know, if the problem was, you know, how can we stop terrorism, it's not exactly clear what you should be counting. But if the problem is how can we deal with global climate change, it is pretty clear that at least one of the things you should be counting is carbon emissions. And that's a pretty important part of the problem, and there's some simple mathematical tools like addition that help us deal with that part of the problem. So that's one of the reasons we did it.
So what are you actually doing about the problem of the Climate Collab? How does it work?
So in order to apply this crowdsourcing approach to this really big, complicated problem, the first thing we did was develop an online platform, which we call the Climate Collab. And at the beginning, we thought that would be the hard part. It turns out that was the easy part. The hard part was getting a community of people to engage on this platform. So we first launched the platform publicly in 2009. And in the years since then, we've been growing our online community. We've been almost doubling every year. We now, just about a week ago, passed 78,000 people.
78,000.
In our online community. That community includes some of the world's leading experts on the science and policy of climate change. And it also includes students, business people, policymakers, many of the people in this room, all kinds of people from literally all over the world. We believe almost every country in the world has had people visiting our site, and many of them we've had winners and proposals from there. So together, these people are developing and evaluating proposals for what to do about different aspects of the climate change problem.
Can I see a show of hands how many people have been to the Collab site? I was going to ask how it actually works, but it seems like everyone actually knows. So let me ask another question. What do you know now about how people interact with an online community around a really big, wicked problem like climate change that you didn't know in 2009?
That's a very interesting question. I already told you one of the lessons, which is that building the community is harder than I thought.
Yeah.
We had this, in retrospect, stupid idea that